Okay, hey, welcome back to another Blkcity coffee vlog series on upgrading our roaster. It's here. I was making sure to call them and keeping as many communication touch points as I could, email, phone, to let them know what our house situation was. And so when I did that, they were like, oh, okay, stop right there. I'll have so-and-so call you once they move it onto a smaller truck. And I was like, okay, cool. And I got no such call, so just doing my due diligence, I called again and they were like, oh, okay, so we see that it's supposed to be moved onto this smaller truck. That was for the 23rd. So they said they were going to move it to a smaller truck and be delivered on the 23rd. I was like, okay. So they didn't come at all. I got a call from somebody named Chris, who was supposed to be, I guess, the driver or the manager or something like that, of this new truck that the crate was going to be on. And I got his personal cell, it looked like, and he was like, I guarantee you, I'm so sorry, this is my fault, he said. I take the blame for this, he said, or something like that. I guarantee you will come tomorrow. Tomorrow meaning the 24th. And I was like, sweet dude, thank you so much. I was on the text. I was like, can I call you at this number to make sure? He's like, yeah, by 6 I'm up and running. I was like, dope. So I give him about an hour or so, maybe 7-ish. And I'm like, hey, Chris, I haven't heard anything from you yet. Just checking in. Can I expect the roaster today? No response. And I was like, okay. And then I call back and I leave a number. I was like, just trying to be as PC as possible. Hey, Chris, I need to know if this is being delivered today. Like, we have schedules to keep, we have lives to run. I can't just keep moving my schedule around, hoping that this roaster is going to come today. Got sort of a later text response back saying, guaranteed it's going to come out. It's going to be shipped tomorrow, Friday, the 25th. Then another no-show. I'm even kind of lost about my notes. Like, point being is it wasn't here again when I was being told that it was going to. So another promise, hey, I'm so sorry, for some reason it didn't go out today. We'll deliver it the next day. And I was like, okay, just like, everything's fine. And then I get online to sort of check the online tracking of the crate, and it says now that it's going to be delivered on Monday, right? After I just got word from Chris saying, I promise it's going to be delivered on Friday. And I was like, okay. As long as it's not damaged, I'm really happy. Monday shows up and it's a no-show. And we're waiting. We're like clearing our schedules. I call and they're like, well, it was supposed to be scheduled for today. I see that, but I don't know why it didn't go out. And I was like, okay. And then another lady was like, oh, we didn't have any drivers. That's why it didn't go out. I was like, you didn't have any drivers? I was like, so, I'm supposed to get this before 2 p.m. on the Monday. And I was like, well, can you just deliver it? I just need to get my package. I need to get my shipment. They're like, we have no drivers. I was like, why? This is your job. No, I didn't say that. In my brain, I was saying that. And then I was like, okay, so you guys are where located? You're in Fontana? They're like, no, we're in Riverside. I was like, okay, that's not too far from us. Could we pick it up? We're available. I think we can make ourselves available. And then I was like, well, if we pick it up, that means I don't need to pay for the shipping cost that it costs for you to deliver it here to my house, because obviously you're not doing that. And they're like, well, I don't know. You need to talk to the shipper. And every time I talk to this company, it's called All Freight, this partner company, this smaller truck that they're supposed to put it on and ship to our house, is like always an attitude with them. And I kept disarming them with my happy-go-lucky attitude, because I just want my roaster. I don't want them to damage it. I don't want them to retaliate. So I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to figure out where my shipment is. I've got orders waiting, and it's, excuse me for looking for my shipment. We're like, okay, I'm gonna call Mill City and see if I can get a refund, which I talked to Christian, and Christian from there said, it's no problem as long as you show proof that you picked it up. And I was like, cool, that's fair. And by the time we got around to it, a lot of things were happening that day in our own business that we couldn't get a driver. We couldn't drive out to go get it. They had thought that we were going to pick it up, but there, to me, it didn't sound like there was any like confirmation. And they're like, oh, it just sounded like if you don't come and pick it up, it's out for shipment the next day. I was like, cool. So that's what I understood. So that was my bad, my misunderstanding of them. And then, so the following day, of course, if I'm assuming that, they didn't show up again because they're thinking we're going to pick it up. And another day, I'm like, okay, man, it's been over a week and a half. Like, we need to get this thing on the run because I need to be shipping orders out in November. It's already the end of October. So we call finally, and I'm like, okay, we got everything situated. We measured our truck to make sure the crate will fit. I asked how the dimensions of the crate, and it was like 46 in length, and then under that for the height and the width. And I was like, I think we'll be cool. I just tell them we're gonna pick it up, and we get there, and it's still a tinge of attitude with every touch point with this company. I'm like, I'm just trying to get my shit, you know? Okay, we're here at 9, picking it up, waiting. We get the crate onto the truck. That's no problem, thank goodness. Sweet, here it is. Nice. And we drive home. That way? You gotta come out. Turn this way. Okay, straighten out. A little bit more. What you'll need is a pair of good gloves, a crowbar. This was absolutely necessary for us to pry open the crate. And the crate was not a perfect crate put together and everything, but you could tell like there was somebody in there just hammering a nail anywhere where they thought it would come apart. So it was very stuck together with these nails that could be pried open with this crowbar, with just my own leverage, my own strength. We filmed the whole thing, of course, and just piece by piece, we were carefully just prying open the wooden bits. And it was actually quite easy. The only sticking parts were the feet. So the machine itself has little feet like this that keep it off the ground. And what they do to keep this very secure in the crate is that they kind of snugly nail pieces of wood to the crate itself so that it's just kind of snugly keeping everything in place. So that was cool. And you just got to pry those open. It takes a little, you know, just take your time with it, go very slowly so you don't accidentally bing, hit your roaster. And then everything else was packaged very nicely. Everything was shrink wrapped, or any of these bits, these careful bits like the thermometers, any of these gauges, any of these bells and whistles things, they were all wrapped with like a foam, but still very easy to just cut through with a blade or something like that, a sharp blade. We had also a rubber mallet. After you pry open the box, there's a lot of really long nails kind of sticking out just for safety and stuff. Maybe you want to just like kind of hammer those away. Other than that, I got the standard color black. It looks beautiful, like no dings, no nothing. It looks perfect. I haven't plugged it in yet or nothing like that. I really haven't had time. We just had a new hire in our business, so I've been onboarding him and just haven't had a lot of time, especially since we scheduled time to do all of this the other week. But you know what? It all turned out great because in the end, I actually got sick. We had issues with our other business, and like the weather was kind of like crappy, so it all works out. In the end, I'm really happy that the roaster was not damaged and we were able to move it, and really just Kevin just manhandled that thing and basically slid it over. I was there to help, like, oh, do you need help? Oh, let me help you right here. So that it wasn't a problem, and I was really kind of concerned about that. How are we going to get it to this thing? And that's another thing too, because the truck of the bed, the way it is, and how we could lower this table to this height, it was an easy slide transition onto the table. So that's something really cool to think about too. It just made everything really easy. Like once we got it here, everything kind of lined up. And we position the table in the right way. We position this in the right way so that it's got wheels. Oh, it's great. So we really picked a good surface to work on with this table. Nothing is sticking out too much. The next thing I have to do is just look at the manual, which is right here. Go through this bad boy and now get all the venting set up. So that will be in the next video. But yeah, overall, I was talking to multiple people from the initial shipping company called Saya, this all freight company, and then Blkcity, of course, and letting them know, like, hey, like, this all freight company, no bueno, man. I don't think that an outstanding company like yourselves, who has really good communication, who's there with the customer service, who's thorough, has a great quality product, I don't think your type of company wants to be associated with this type of company. This type of company, when I went to go look it up on Google, all these 1-star, 2-star reviews, I was like, well, damn it. Like, so Blkcity, is it your fault? No. Is it your fault? Kinda yes, because it's your responsibility as a company, and I could say that because we run a company, and I'll say that even when somebody who is representing our company wrong, but we approve them in a way indirectly, it's still your fault. You know, it's still your fault, as you're the head of the company, or you're the company, you have all these things kind of like associated with you. If you've indirectly approved that, you let it slip through your fingers, then it's just a lesson to go, okay, cool, we're not going to associate with this type of company anymore for this region, for this area, because they don't represent our brand the way that it should, and it causes even more headache for us in the long run. I could totally, sympathize with that. That's happened to us before. So what was awesome is that I did voice that, and not in a really complaining way. I was just like, I don't think you want to be associated with this company. Like, they left a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't the best experience. And, I know you guys are a responsible, diligent company doing your best, and they are dragging you down. So, what was so cool is that I got a call from Christian. I've got the seasoning greens ready here. I'll be scheduling an appointment with Derek as soon as we get the venting set up safely. I have a lot to read through here, but I'm very excited. Thank you for listening. I hope my story helps you get ahead of any nonsense that may come your way if you deal with shipping companies, shipping issues, and things like that, and how you could take control of the situation, not feel so like I'm just trying to get my shit. And if you are dealing with shipping stuff, I do recommend breathe. And just know that being mad about it really doesn't help. Voicing that you're upset does help, in expressing how you feel and expressing the inconvenience or the suffering, time and suffering, or whatever that you're going through is helpful, but in a way that's not too, I guess, ranty and long. Save it for the YouTube video, and I'm sure you'll get to the right conclusion. And just, be patient. Maybe sometimes it's a good thing that things get delayed, because maybe if you rush too much into it, something could have got damaged. If I was like, dude, it needs to get to me freaking today, and they're like, oh, okay, and then they just like drop it. So take your time, be patient, whatever, life happens. I'm just happy it's here, and I'm very excited to move on to the next step, which is setting up the venting system and showing you guys that too. So good things, long video. See you next time. Bye.
Right, exciting Christmas gift.
And birthday gift, and next Christmas. Whoa! Holy crap! Woo! Now we're cooking. Now we're roasting. Wow. Oh, here's the hopper.
Cool.
Let's open it.
Wow, it's really nice. It fits perfectly.
It does.
Yeah. Your new machine. Dope.
I haven't even seen it yet.
Any scratches yet? Nothing, huh?
Nothing.
Packed it well.
There's that. Look at this hopper. Wow, we did it, Ben. What the heck? What the heck was Tired Eyes talking about?
It was just him, though.
No, you said you got 4 people on it or something.
Oh.
comes with a light. Here's the thermometer. Pretty. Ooh,
Oh, it comes
look at
with a
this.
light.
We gotta refinish this guy
Yeah.
for a nicer handle.
Okay. Has to be.
Wow, cool. Okay, now we need to move it into position.
Okay. Okay.
I'll do it.
You want to move your box?
I'm so excited.
You don't need stoppers on it, huh? You don't need to level the machine, do you?
I don't, well, let's see. Okay, ta-da!
Cool.
Yeah, we're cooking. Okay, we're out to.
Oh, they kept that for you.
Oh, they said you can remove it.
Oh,
If
okay.
you want to, yeah.
Just leave it. It's fine.
I'm gonna put
Cool.
Blkcity coffee right here. Yay! Ta-da! Wow, took a while.
Yeah.
We got it, and everything looks good, huh?
Yep. Cool. I'm gonna stop it here.
Okay. Wait, can I have a picture, please?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.